Here with Big Mike, CEO at Advanced Nutrients, one of the cannabis industry's most successful entrepreneurs, and now star of his own show on Prime. So, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for coming and talking to me today virtually.
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm in Barcelona, Spain right now. So the miracle of all the Zoom and technology, we can communicate. Where are you at today?
I'm here in Los Angeles, so I'm very
Oh,
jealous
my
of you.
home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
it's very
definitely.
humid. It's very humid here compared to LA. So, but the weather's nice.
Yeah, it's the summer. Are you eating some like chocolate with churros and like are you having some of the good
No,
food
the,
out
the
there?
ham. They call it the ham is so good here. This is what I'm going after. Yeah, I love it here. Every time I get here, I always have a lot of the ham. But
Yes, that's
most of the
awesome.
restaurants are still closed. There are a few that are open, but there's business going on here. It's way more vibrant than it is in LA. I'll just put it that way.
In Spain,
Right.
they mix the cannabis with a lot of tobacco. Like I don't know if you've
Oh,
noticed that.
oh yeah, they do that. And so I always ask if they put tobacco on, and they go, "Oh, you don't smoke it that way." I go, "No, I'm more of a purist." However, the nicotine is a great delivery system for the THC. It helps with that. That's why they mix the two. So there you
Oh,
go.
wow. Interesting. See,
Yeah,
I'm learning some facts already.
that's right.
So, tell me a little bit about your show. Like, tell me what can we expect in your show that's coming up?
Sure. Well, it's kind of like the Survivor meets Shark Tank, and the premise of the whole show is I got really tired of seeing cannabis displayed in a very stereotypical negative way, and I said I want to do something that shows the world that cannabis is not what you think it is, and that it is encompassing with everybody who's out there. And so we show a total cross section of America, of all people from all walks of life. We've got a couple of nuns. We've got some ice cream people, people from the gaming community. There are a total cross section, not just a bunch of, they seem to want to show the green haired, purple people with signs doing some freaky stuff. Well, that's not what cannabis is, and I wanted this show to reflect the true nature of cannabis.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think you're doing so much to sort of kill these stereotypes that have been around cannabis for so long. And I noticed that one of the things that you talk about in your show is what it actually takes to make it in that industry. And I really want to know, what do you think it takes? What does an entrepreneur that wants to do cannabis need to do differently than another, and somebody that's working in a different industry?
Sure. I call them the money guys, the suits are just going out of business left, right, and center in this industry because they made a huge tactical error, and that is they do not understand the culture. They think that they can come in and they think that the marketplace is going to behave like a normal marketplace, but they also aren't realizing that it's highly regulated and we're on shifting sand and it's constantly moving and you have to be able to adapt. But the biggest thing is the culture, understanding, getting into the trenches and not making fun like these other shows do of cannabis people, understanding that this is a culture that has been underground for the last 40 to 50 years, and they have to respect that, and they need to understand that the evolution of where this industry is going is not going to be moving at the pace in which they wish it to move. And this is why you're going to see more cannabis businesses going out of business because they're just going to run out of funds because they're attacking the marketplace like it's a normal space, and it's not. This is the number one mistake that I see that they're doing. I gave a speech at ArcView, I don't know, 4 or 5, it was about 4 years ago, on the very subject about the culture and to respect it. And I gave analogies of the skateboarding and the surfing communities, what that was like. Apparently, a lot of those folks didn't listen.
Yeah, definitely.
So
That's
that's
actually a really interesting, thing to hear, which I don't think, you hear nowadays, right? Because you do see all these people trying to come into the industry, which they're just looking at it as a money thing, but there is a whole culture behind it and the people who consume it as well, right?
everyone thinks because you're in the cannabis space, you're going to get rich. And then what another mistake people are looking at, they're just grabbing cannabis businesses. Where do you want to be in the cannabis space, and where's your sector of the market, and focus on that and go after that sector, because you can't be all things to everybody in cannabis. It's very, very difficult because the technology is changing. There are things and technologies that are happening that I never even dreamed about. And it's hard to keep up with the fast evolving pace of the human mind and what it sees and what it can do.
Yeah, definitely. I also want to ask you, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I have heard that cannabis sales have just gone off the roof during quarantine. So I want to know what you think, how do you think the industry is going to come out of this quarantine? Do you think it's going to be one of those industries that benefited from it? What's the future of it?
Sure. I've been through three major recessions, and every time our business has gone up, and this is no different. This quarantine has caused people to get very stressed and have a lot of anxiety because of what's on the news, and so consumption has gone through the roof. In fact, our business has grown so fast, and the demand for our products are so great, which is a wonderful situation to be in, that I've got to upgrade equipment on all our facilities just to meet the demand, because I can't even keep up with what is wanted in the marketplace. It's just exploded beyond my imagination.
Wow. Are there any particular products that have been exploding more than others?
Well, in my sector, our number one selling product is Big Bud, and so the Big Bud sales are going through the roof. In fact, all of our products our top 10 products are just skyrocketed. And I've talked to other people that are in I would call it the picks and shovels part of the business, and they're reporting 60% growth, 30 to 60% growth month over month in some instances.
Wow. So as you know, for entrepreneurs in the industry, how do you think that they can sort of prepare during this quarantine to grow more?
Be prepared. Have your vendors in line. We went to all our vendors. We made sure that they were able to have the products that we needed. We got an extra warehouse space and put it in. Just for other folks though who are new in the space, just move carefully. Understand what is going on. There's two things that can kill a business. Fast growth that's uncontrollable because it's just a money sucking machine, and the other one is no business. And so you have to modulate and do the best that you can, and just keep pounding away day after day. Do your thing.
Yeah, definitely. That brings me to, I've seen your little on your Instagram. I've seen your dab bar, which looks like
Yep,
tons of fun. And
it
I'm
is.
wondering, how does somebody, that is an entrepreneur, a busy person, stay successful and still, can do dabs and like have a productive day?
So first off, during the workday, I am not medicated at all. I medicate at the end of the day because it helps me process the day. It opens up a different pathway in my brain that allows me to see things in a totally different perspective. And I tell folks, I've made hundreds of millions of dollars when I've been medicated. And I'm a married guy now. I remember when I had girlfriends in the past, they would see me I would medicate at night, and they'd go, how the hell can you be so successful and you smoke all that weed? Well, it's when I do it, and I've just been doing it for so long that it's just become part of my life, and I do it every evening, and also it helps me get to sleep as well.
Any particular strains that you recommend for people that want to just, take in the day and open up that pathway?
Yeah, sativa strains will do it. In fact, we in Big Mike's Blends, I have a pre-roll called Creative Kingdom. I kind of made it for myself because it opened up my pathway, and you don't get too high. It's very subtle. It's nice, and it just stimulates the creativity. So what I'll usually do is I'll go home. I will take a straight dab of THCA, which is the acid form of THC, and I'll take that. And then I will smoke some Creative Kingdom. And before I go to bed, I'll take an edible. That's kind of what I do. And then on the weekends, of course, depending on what I do, I'll medicate and just sit, read, and do a lot of thinking and reflecting.
I know you're working on making hemp seeds available to consumers, right? And just being able to plant them like any
Yes,
other plant. So
correct.
there's tons of new hemp products out there. And I just want to get your opinion on if whether hemp is a viable source for just consumer goods, like can it replace something like cotton, and if so, is it sustainable and a realistic goal?
Yes, absolutely. Cotton uses about 40%, 40 times the amount of water that it takes hemp to grow. Cannabis in general is 10,000 different products. Jack Herrera, he wrote a book called Emperor Wears No Clothes, and I can remember meeting him way back 1984 or 85, and he had this book, and he's explaining to me how it's all these different products, and it's going to be a multi-trillion-dollar space in 30 years when you start thinking about the textile use and the industrial use of the product.
Wow.
It is. There's so many different things when you beyond the medicinal effects of it, but for the industrial and for the world in general, you're going to see a lot of things. I have a friend that makes dashboards and car panels for Bugatti, BMW, Mercedes, and they won't let them talk about it. But it's plastic with hemp infused into it, and it's almost as strong as carbon fiber at a fraction of the cost. There's hempcrete, there's plywood that's made out of hemp, stalks and everything. The future is huge and unlimited, and it's a plant that grows very, very quick and can be grown almost anywhere in the world. So the future of cannabis, both medicinally, recreationally, industrial, is through the roof. Folks just aren't understanding the full potential, but they also have to realize this is a 30-year plan. It's going to take some time and evolution in people's mindsets to change about cannabis in general, and that's happening. And also the next Marijuana Millionaire, that's one of the reasons why I did the show, is to show a different side of the reality of what they've been exposed to for the last 40 years.
Yeah, definitely. What do you have to say to those people that are starting businesses with hemp, and kind of getting off and sort of trying to educate people in the world about it?
Wow, if the people are starting to, and they want to get into a hemp business, first of all, get a very reputable supplier, but also if you're going to be growing it, hemp, okay, last year you didn't need any license to sell hemp seeds to anywhere in the 50 states. This year you do. The shifting sand is even greater in hemp, and really understand your state laws and also the federal laws. The USDA and the FDA still haven't come out with all their rulings that pertains to hemp.
Definitely. Okay.
Yeah.
So some good advice out there. I have some friends that are starting some hemp businesses as well, so I'll make sure to let them know.
Good. Yeah, very good.
So I have to confess that I one time went to a Big Mike party. And a friend of a friend. So
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how are what's going on with Big Mike's party? Now we're in quarantine.
No, I wanted to have a 4th of July party this year. I found a house down in Malibu. It was a great location, and the whole COVID thing happened, and then we said, okay, we can't do that. It's not going to work. How about Labor Day? And so we called the city of Malibu because we want to have it down on the beach. And they go, no way, you're not going to have a party. And then I thought to myself, would I go to a party with 1,000 people or 500, 700 people? I said, probably not. And so when the COVID's over with, I am dying to have a big bash again. Absolutely. You'll be seeing more Big Mike parties when things simmer down and change.
Awesome. What about?
And I'll make sure you're there.
Okay. Please
right.
do, because they are great parties.
Yes. No
what about some Big Mike digital parties? Do you think that's a thing?
I thought about it. It's just not the same, because what I do is I give people an experience. When you walk in and pass those gates, you're mine, and I want you to have one of the most memorable times of your life. And then when you leave, you're back into reality. It's a total experience, and you have to be there to feel the energy, the experience, and all the things that are going on, because there's a lot of stuff usually going on when I have a party. It's not just a party, there's things to entertain folks with as well.
Well, I can attest to that, and I am definitely looking forward to it.
Great. Very good.
So, thank you so much for your time. It was so great talking to you. And yeah, I'll see you at the next Big Mike party.
You will. All right. Thank you, Diane. It was real fun. I
Okay,
enjoyed
you
myself.
too.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.
Thank you.